Criminal lawyers defend people or organizations charged with committing criminal acts. They defend the rights of their clients at every stage of the case. Criminal charges can include anything from violent and sex crimes, drug-related crimes, to theft and fraud. Criminal lawyers provide legal assistance in bail applications, research and developing case strategy, court appearances, proceedings at trial, plea and sentence agreements. Here are the top 5 criminal lawyers in South Africa, and a bonus surprise inclusion for those who stick around till the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and like. At number 5, Teswell Papier. Teswell Papier was also part of the team that represented alleged honeymoon murderer Shireen Diwani. Papier has been previously honored as Western Cape Hero by the then Premier Ibrahim Rasool and has been named the Global Lawyer of the Year in 2006. Papier defended former Manchester United manager Sir Alex Ferguson when he was accused of sexually assaulting Nadia Abrahams in Cape Town. Ferguson's trip to South Africa had turned really sour after Miss Abrahams, a computer technician, alleged that he repeatedly touched her thigh as she drove him home from the Manningberg Jazz restaurant in the city's waterfront district. A good lawyer wins before the matter even goes to court. The NPA decided to not even prosecute in this matter. Papier was also part of the National Association of Democratic Lawyers delegation in 1990 and played a major role in the indemnity process of political prisoners on Robben Island.
Despite transformation efforts in South Africa and progress that is being made, racism and negative stereotyping regrettably remain prevalent today, more than 30 years after our first democratic election, and many discriminatory practices and attitudes remain subtly untransformed, not least in the legal profession.
At number 4, Advocate Peter Doberman. Doberman strives in the long game, more of a slow chess player instead of going all-out attack. He is one that first develops his chess pieces and then strikes at the appropriate moment. Advocate Doberman is known for being controversial televangelist Pastor Timothy Omotoso's counsel in his grape case. He uncovered the wrath of Zondi's supporters following sharp cross-examination, where he implied that Zondi was also a willing participant in her alleged grape. In his line of questioning, Doberman asked Zondi why she did not take opportunities to escape from the house and how deep Omotoso had penetrated her. Now, Judge Makaula Mandela intervened, saying the questions were inappropriate. Doberman then replied by saying that this is the prosecutor's duty to object if he believes that his witness is being treated unfairly, and it is the judge's job to rule on the objection. This is where he won the case. The recusal of the said judge was crucial in this case. At number 3, Advocate Francois van Zyl. For his South African trial, Shireen Diwani procured the services of Advocate Francois van Zyl. Diwani was acquitted by the Western Cape High Court in December 2014 despite evidence stacked against him. This one case highlighted prosecutorial failures in South Africa. Advocate van Zyl also defended Margaret Thatcher's son Mark when he was accused of plotting a coup in Equatorial Guinea. He also represented Shabir Sheikh in the famous 2006 fraud case. Sheikh was, however, convicted and sentenced to 15 years imprisonment. But this was a high-profile case, and the state had brought Billy Downer to prosecute. So you may understand why he had to lose this one. The Scorpions officers had compiled, a file of 56,000 documents against Sheikh. So it was a lot of work for Mr. Francois. At number 2, Advocate Barry Roux. Roux gained fame when he defended Paralympian Oscar Pistorius in 2014, who had been convicted of murder. The athlete shot and unalived his former girlfriend River Steenkamp on Valentine's Day in 2013. He initially won the case, with Oscar convicted for culpable homicide instead of murder, which was the main charge, and sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. But because of public scrutiny, the conviction and sentence were changed to murder and 13.5 years imprisonment. Oscar is now out on parole. Roo has also been legal advisor to Prophet Shepherd Bushiri family. Roo also represented Dave King, businessman who faced charges of defrauding the South African Revenue Services. The case eventually ended up with King agreeing to pay a settlement. Roo also represented McKinsey & Co. South Africa in a fraud and corruption case involving Transnet. At number 1, Lawrence Hodes, considered one of the best criminal lawyers by politicians, best known for defending Julius Malema and Ace Makashule, and most recently Morwadi Cholota, who the court recently found that her extradition from the United States of America was unlawful, and she is expected to sue the state millions for constitutional damages. And this has intensified the calls for Shamila Batoyi to be fired. Hodes is more of a technical lawyer. He has to be embroiled in a long chess game, but he seems to prefer the shorter game, or winning on technicality and not necessarily the merits. During the Makashule case, he tried to show misconduct and incompetencies made by the prosecution. Hodes highlighted an email sent to Charlotte after her 2020 designation as a state witness, warning her not to contact Makashule or his attorneys. He asserted that Charlotte was initially considered a defense witness, and it was a misconduct and interference of defense witnesses by the state. On April 17, 2025, Hodes introduced the recording of a 2021 interview, sparking contention with state prosecutor advocate Johan Nischen, who questioned its authenticity and relevance. And here's a bonus for those of you who stuck around till the end of the video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Bonus mention is Advocate Dalimpofu. Not necessarily a criminal defense lawyer, but he has had some notable wins that earn him a spot on this list. If your case is politically motivated, this is the guy. He's not afraid to create precedents or even taking on unwinnable cases. Imagine, this guy tried to overturn a constitutional court case at the High Court, and he presented 8 valid reasons that allow the High Court to listen to a matter that has been decided by the Constitutional Court already. Along with George Bezos and others, he also served on the legal team that represented Winnie Madikizela Mandela when she was prosecuted for the alleged involvement in the unaliving of Stompie. In May 2021, Mpofu joined the defense of former President Jacob Zuma, who was facing newly reinstated corruption charges. Mpofu has clearly mastered the Stalingrad tactic, in which he stalls proceedings while looking for an opening to strike the matter off. He is now facing a disciplinary hearing by the Legal Practice Council, or LPC, for misconduct. It comes as no shock as the LPC, which Dalimpofu and Pabasa advocated for its anti-transformational and gatekeeping stance by supporting the Anti-Transformational Legal Practice Act for the benefit of Pabasa, which benefits from the scrapping of Attorneys Act. Like, this guy advocated that all other sidebars be scrapped except his, which thousands are required. I guess the chicken went home to roast. Today, they are using their abusive and anti-transformational stance against their biggest advocate and possibly the brains behind their formation and centralization. The LPC has conducted many vexatious cases, including harassing practitioners, like the case of Mabungu. Like, Mpofu only questioned former SARS executives' mental health. How is that a misconduct? Is that not trial advocacy? Mpofu also defended the MK veterans who had held 2 ministers